All right, good night, everyone. Welcome to our very first episode, our very first Meals podcast. And as we have been highlighting, Meals stand for Men Achieving Leadership, Excellence, and Success. So, as you see, we have a bunch of guys here who are very successful guys in their own right. And really and truly, as I've said many times in my promotion, in other person's promotion, we are just really and truly trying to create a space where, as men, we can just talk. We can just talk. We can just educate each other. We're not going to bash the women. We're not bashing anyone at all. We just want to talk. So the topic for tonight, and before I talk about the topic, I'll just introduce everyone. So beside me, we have Raggy, who is, a man of many hats. He's a news reporter. He is this, he is that. He's an engaged man. He's doing everything. So we have Raggy with us. We have Vincent Irving, right beside him. Down to the left, we have Jason Curlew, obviously a George's old boy. We have Arthur Stockpole beside him, another George's old boy. We have Warren, who is bringing the international Canadian flavor for us tonight. So thank you for being here, Warren. And obviously we have Ryan Lawson, who is out of Jamaica, who is here as a single man as it relates to marital status, just like myself. So we are here to learn from the experienced ones. All right, so gentlemen, so the title of the podcast is "How Do We Know That She Is the One?" Right? And for me personally, I'll give you a little personal background about myself. This is something that I have struggled with mightily. I don't know when she's the one. I've picked a lot and I've picked wrong. I've picked wrong, and you can say it depends on the decision that I make. It depends on what I was looking for. But right now, obviously, as I said before, my marital status is single, so obviously I've not found the one as yet. So I'm just trying to get the education from you guys who are engaged, who are married, to just go ahead and just give us an example or give us some ideas of how we can identify the one. So Jason, we'll go ahead and start with you because you are living with your girlfriend. You guys have 3 kids together. We just really want you to know, educate the audience, educate the men here. How did you go about identifying that? Hey, this Abby, she is the one. She is the one for me. She's the one I want. She's the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. She's the one I want to be the mother of my children.
Well, bless up again, everyone. Good night, to everyone watching. Big up to everyone on the panel. Large up to this first weekly show. Um, Happy to be here. For me personally, I always live by the mantra that I can never look to make someone a wife if I can't make them a mother. So I see a lot of qualities, and everybody who follow me and know my page knows about Abby, as Kim's alluded to. The long-term relationship, as I said, three sons together. I don't think it will be anymore. I'm not building no football team quite now. But for me, essentially speaking, as it related to her, um, the qualities that she had, she has, I should say, she's very selfless. She's determined. She's just a living matriarch. She has been taking care of her younger siblings from a very young age. And just some of the things, like I remember working at a call center, um, and probably I can delve into this, that I'm not the cleanest person. Sometimes I'm doing that, boy, this and that all over a place, and whatever. So I remember going to work and coming back and actually came home to a surprise. I didn't know that she would be at home. This was in our
Yes,
initial part, before any of the kids initial
yes,
part. And she actually literally cleaned my entire house. Was entirely clean.
important,
I didn't ask her to do
important.
that. It just came about as a natural bit of instinct. Another bit of information, probably, maybe somebody might find this corny or whatever, that everybody knows how great of a follower I am of Manchester United. And there was a
Yeah,
certain match, and I remember, I said it jokingly, I said it jokingly that I wanted that probably can give me some luck. Just put on my jersey, because I own several. Just put on my
Yes.
jersey, I didn't expect her to do it. Lo and behold, while I'm there watching the match, I just see somebody tap me on my shoulder. There she was in my Manchester United jersey, and luckily
Perfect.
United did win that game. So I mean, it's always a bit of the little things that can come about, and I mean,
Perfect.
everybody's there's no universal definition of what it is for a woman to be the one for a man.
Yeah.
It always depends on your personal aspect, because Kems might want a woman who drive Benz. That might not really matter to me.
Yeah.
Vince might want somebody with there for take care of him. That might not be this. I mean, that's just how it is. So in reality, it just depends on what the person want individually and all of that.
All right.
So essentially for me, based on all of those factors, and I mean so much more that I've been through with her, that I know that she's somebody that
Jeez.
biggest that I can depend on. Whether high days or low days, she's somebody that I can always draw on. And I think for me that is very important. So really and truly, I mean, that's just how it is for me. That's how I know that I connect with her the right way.
All right. And definitely, Jason, definitely really appreciate that and big up Abby every single time. So I want to get to someone on the panel who is indeed married, right? So there's a guy on the panel named Arthur Stockpole, right? He's been married to his wife for 9 years, right? So I just wanted to go ahead and just let us know, because hey, being with somebody for 9 weeks is a hefty task, much as to be married to someone for 9 years. So I want you to just go through and let us know that when did you find out that she was the one, and how can a single man look and say, hey, these are the qualities that we need to find in a wife?
Blessings, blessings, blessings. Well, first and foremost, big up wife Tam Tam. Don't know you have to ask the permission for that on the podcast. Don't know it. I big up the two kids them same way. Yeah, so honestly, you know, Kims, say when we meet Tam Tam is not necessarily looking for the one. It's more like we were friends, you see?
Mm-hmm.
And ever since our friendship, it just grow over a period of time, and then we just realize, say we're gonna work it out together and just do the right thing. So basically, when we find out and stuff, I never like, I say, say you're the one, and no, it's just over years and a period of time we just build and build the relationship, and it just become a thing. So overall, still, we can say for you, and advice for you right now is for me is like I just can't be myself around time. You see me? We can talk, we can relate to each other, we can correct each other, and then we just move on and fix stuff. Like one instance, say in high school, we used to dance and I love the dancing thing, and you that imagine say say it's a dancer stop pull like a do that. No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Because, for those who know Tam Tam are the biggest dancer, but I can tell you this. You see, if I play music right now, not even Ding Dong can hold her. You see me? I say,
Yeah.
because she just can be herself. She know
Yeah.
to let loose, she know
Mm.
how to kind of be relaxed, and she just know how to read the room and act appropriately. So,
Yeah.
as far as stuff you can look forward to, you have to just make sure. For me, deal breakers are you have to can clean, you have to can cook. As a yard man, you
Crucial.
don't know.
Crucial. Crucial.
It's crucial. Um, and just basically, just have understanding. That is the most important thing for me. As long as we can communicate and talk about our feelings and express each other, and then of course you have to can reciprocate as well as a man. You see what I say? So it's not necessarily all about finding the one, because you can find the one, but you have to also can keep that person around, and you have to always be changing, because the Tam Tam we meet 9 years ago is not the
Yep.
same Tam Tam as today. So
Absolutely.
every year, every month, we always adapt, we always learn new things. You see what I say? So is all about a continuous process of improving each other and just reflecting on each other. So that's what I have to tell you for right now.
All right. All right. So I want to get the gentleman here who tell us that he has the international flavor, bringing the Canadian weather to us, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
I believe Warren has been married for, I want to say, a year and change. I don't know exactly how long, but he has
One
been
year.
married for
1 year.
1
1 year.
year. All right,
Yeah.
perfect. So he has been married for a year. So Warren,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question, and it doesn't really have to pertain to you, but I just want to talk as from a man perspective. And let me read Dimo comment. Men always say she African cook and clean. What if she can't but fulfills all her other requirements? All right, so Stockpole, can you answer that question? Warren, I'll get to you in a second.
Well, right
Yeah,
first
man.
off,
No
easy
problem.
for answer because I mind like a requirement that Zine. So as a youth growing up, honestly, this is just full disclosure. Personally, I feel like my father could have done a lot more than what he did. So what I'm getting at is he wasn't really around. So my mother was there, my sister, my aunt, and even cousins, all our cousins as well.
Yeah.
And they've always been cooking and cleaning in the house. So that's the kind of environment that I grew up in. Now, not to say that if a woman is not clean, I'm going to say, well, we can't. You have to also be willing to learn. That is part of the reason why I say you have to can grow each other and change. So if you put forth effort now to say, you know what, my man love clean, love cooking and him love him cook food. And so I'm going to try going in the kitchen, YouTube about, you can't go wrong. So as long as you're willing to put in that effort, by all means. So there's no excuse for that, personally. You see me? As long as you put in the effort and you're going to the kitchen and you do your thing, you see me even fake it and say it tastes good, as long as you put in the effort.
As long as you try.
As long
As
as
long
she
as you
try.
try. So
Wow,
that's
most
Yeah.
all.
definitely.
That's all.
Yeah.
All right, so here is Adrian Nicholson asking, and I'll pass this one to you, Warren.
Okay.
What comes first for you, looks or personality?
So you mean what I put more value
Which
on?
definitely.
Personality, definitely, because the personality is what you're going to live with. The looks, you when you meet the person, the first thing that strikes you is the looks, because that's what meets the eyes. And whereas it is important, is not the looks you're going to live with. Looks will fade, but
Yeah,
the personality is what is going to keep you and keep the relationship going. Is how your personality and her personality intertwine that is going to determine the health of your relationship. Your looks will
absolutely,
fade, her looks will fade. So definitely personality is what I put above.
absolutely. And a follow-up question to that, Warren, is,
Yeah.
do you believe that men on a whole, right, do you believe that men go out in this world and say, hey, I want to get married? Or do you believe that men just really and truly, when they are ready to settle down, they just pick the best woman available? Or do they go through the vetting process of dating? You know, like a woman would go out on different dates, multiple dates until they
Yeah,
find the
yeah.
right one. Do you believe that men actually do that? Or if you can talk about yourself, do you do that? Or is it a case where, hey, well, me at 33, but I'm ready for second down, so see Keisha here, let me take Keisha and then me turn Keisha into a wife? Or is it that you go through the vetting process and you go in the nitty gritty and you find out and you get exactly what you want as a man? Because one thing that has been often publicized is that, men just really take anything. They don't really have no quote unquote standards or anything like that. So is it a case
Mm.
where you go through the vetting process or do you just take what's best available?
Um, I would say it depends on the age that you are at, because the love can find you anywhere in your life, whether it be your 20s, or 30s, or 40s. There's really no timeline as to when that love may find you.
Yeah,
However, I believe a younger person may not be, a younger male, sorry, may not be in the process of vetting. A younger male, like in 20s, mid 20s, even late 20s, might only be focused on superficial things. What is here now in front of you? It's not thinking about vetting anybody for marriage. Whereas a woman may very well start vetting for marriage from she's like 21, 22, because it's in her nature to want to to be a wife. And I think personally, I feel like women kind of aspire to be married more than men, or even sooner than men. And part of the reason for that is because um, men, as men get older, a lot of women tend to find them more attractive, because as a man progresses, when he gets older,
yeah,
he acquires more things. More things, he becomes more valuable, quote unquote, as he gets older, because he would have had more time to acquire more things. And
absolutely.
yeah. And a woman now, I would say, she's in her prime when she's young and fresh, 20 something,
Yes.
Not to say that the older ones are not attractive. They are. I know a lot of attractive older women. However, the prime is when they're in their 20s. So I think women tend to want to aspire to be married much quicker than men. Men usually start the vetting process a bit older when they're more established, when they've had some more experience. Right? That's what I believe. That's what I pretty much believe. I think it all depends on age for the
All
guy.
right.
Whereas a woman, she just starts out vetting. When she leaves through what she start vetting.
Okay. All right. And here is Lou Money 101. He's saying when it comes to marriage, the most important thing to think about is the things you don't like about your partner. Ask yourself if you can live with those things for the rest of your life. And Raggy, I want you to answer this question, right? Because it's a whole lot to think about. But you are a man, recently got engaged. Obviously, congratulations to you, and your future wife. But as it relates to that, is that something that you do take into consideration or no? Yeah, you're mute, boss.
As in looks versus personality?
No, 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 no.
Oh.
Put up, producer, put up back Lou Money comment.
Oh, what he said. Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Right. All right. So, but I took it from a different angle. I completely agree with what Lou Money 101, said, but I actually had an extension for my relationship.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with who my fiance is, Kiki, Edwards, soon to be Mrs. Winter.
Big up Kian. Big up Kian.
That's right. Big up Kian.
Big up Kian. Big up Kian.
Yes. I also had to ask for permission to be on the podcast.
Oh, yes.
Which is right. Right.
Because if she didn't give me permission, the coach is a tiny coach, and I want to make my night be great. Make the bedroom great again. Anyway, right. So, to be honest, I'm comfortable with exactly who she is.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm okay with what she isn't. I'm okay that she's not a supermodel. I'm okay that she's not, the daughter of a queen. I'm okay with who she is. I'm okay waking up to who she is daily. I actually want to wake up to her, next to her. And when you came to that realization in a relationship, then the next progress would have been marriage, because that to me, it was the outward show that you are now ready to form that legal bond until you die, right? And so I'm okay with, when Lou Money 101 said that if you're okay with everything that she's not for the rest of your life, that's certainly one way to look at it. But I'm a more glass half full kind of person, where I would say I'm okay with everything that she is now. It's not to say that we don't grow in love daily, but as it stands now, it's not that I'm content. I am happy. I am at peace. And so once I got to that realization in my relationship, the next step was now to save a bunch of money to buy the ring and to pop the question and to say, boy, will you go with me on this journey? She said yes, because she does have ambition, and gentlemen, you have to realize that you are a catch, and she said yes. So, once it came to that realization, then marriage was the next step. So that was it for me.
All right. So let me ask you a question, Reggie. Is there one particular thing? Because, when I talk to men who are married, when I talk to men who have wives a duration of time, sometimes there's just one thing that just click. I say, man, no other girl I talk to have done this to me before. Yes. No other girl I talk to have made me feel this way before. Is there something that clicked with you? If it's something you don't want to discuss, it's fine. But is there something that clicked with you where you say, this is what did it for me?
Yeah, it for me, it was really simple. All right, so Kian's outlook on life as it relates to this relationship, it was really telling from a really early stage. How she would speak about it, it was in the future tense, with the use of we. So it was we to do this or to achieve that, we need to do it. And from a very early stage, it was never a case of when you earn your money, you need to do this, or when she earns her money, she needs to do that. The point was, listen, if we're going to progress in this relationship and we're going to save to purchase a house, we cannot consider each of our incomes as a single unit. So essentially, the income that we each earn was seen as a collective income. So nobody has equal share. So if I earn $100 for the month, I can't necessarily go to just purchase a pair of Jordans because that will impact on the plans that we have that we want to achieve going,
but, but stick a pin, Randy,
Sure.
because I realize that has been a huge thing in relationships. You know, where the other day I was having a conversation with a young lady, and this is exactly what she said. She said, and I quote, "My money is my money, and my boyfriend's money is our money." Right? That is what she said. So I realize that finances is a big thing. So again, big up Kian, because I think that is something that when women are willing to pool together funds in order to achieve whatever goals that you guys set out to achieve, is always something that you have to admire, because seeing how things are going now, that's not always the case. That. And I want to read Michelle comment here. She said, "Men have told me that men know if they would marry a woman or not, even if they are or continue the relationship for a while. Is this true?" And I want to get in here, Vincent. Do you think this is true?
Good night to the panel
Night,
and
boss.
persons who are listening. I do believe that is true, Michelle. I remember a young lady said to me once that men choose whom they married. Um, and it took me a little while, and I, run it through your head a couple of times and think about it. And I believe I've come to agree that. And she would say that a woman will choose who she sleep with, but when it comes down to marriage, for the most part, it's men who determine who they married. And what Michelle is saying really adds really to that statement, because a woman can determine, yeah, I may sleep with X or Y or stuff like that, but then she will want to marry a particular man, and there have been instances where for years and the man wouldn't move, whereas men tend to determine that, all right, yes, I am ready, and they get married. So there is some truth to that, Michelle. There's also what Lou Money had said earlier, Kims. That is something that myself and my friends always talk about. We always said that when you find a woman, and as you think about spending the rest of your life with her, the things that you love about her will never be a problem. Yeah, because you love it. The things that you don't like, what are you going to do? How are you going to live with that? And mind you, in fact, the other day we were just talking about it, a friend of mine, and we said that thing that you don't like might get 10 times worse. How do you deal with that? You understand? And trust me, there is truth to that. You understand? So those are some of the things that I believe you try to think about as you look. One of the panelists said earlier, I'm not sure if there's a right or wrong in terms of knowing who is the woman. As you talk to somebody and you interact with them, then you begin to understand the chemistry and how both of you can make life together. And I believe that is what you look at to determine as you go forward. And the older you are as men, the truth is, for most, I'm not sure if I should say for most of us, but I'm going to say that for most of us, when we are young, we probably, some of us do, but most of us don't think out, the whole marriage and woman and going forward. And I think Warren said it earlier. I think we're more, upon the surface level. Is as you get older, you begin to think about a lot of things more, especially as we get children. Then things begin to think a lot more for most men as your responsibility increase, and that is when sometimes you really start to reflect on some stuff.
All right, perfect, well said. So Deandra is asking a question. should a man be fine? And I'm going to put this to Ryan, right? Because me and Ryan is the only person in the same boat here. So I'll throw this to Ryan, right? So it said, should a man be financially stable when pursuing a successful woman? If he is not in the same position to provide, should he still pursue her or pass? What would you say about that, Ryan?
All right, I'm going to bring it back a little bit with a personal experience for myself.
Yes.
You see, when I'm unemployed, the last thing on my mind is to date a woman or look a woman or anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes
My
sense, makes
first
sense.
priority is to get back on track, and then I can move from there. Now I'm going to take it to this situation. Um, in most marriages, most relationships, most marriages, or whatever, from the history of time,
Yep.
even now, even to this present day,
Yep.
um, women, regardless of their status, they prefer men who are on their level at minimum or at a higher level than them. And when I speak
Yep.
to women, these are things that I speak to women about myself. And when I speak to them, they say they always want to learn from from the men who they are with. They don't want to be the one teaching. So
Absolutely.
I would say,
Absolutely.
yeah, that um, your priority should be to upgrade yourself, and then you can focus on whatever else that it is that your goals might be. Even women.
Absolutely. And here is Tyree saying that he's not pursuing a successful or unsuccessful woman if he is not financially stable. Does anyone at all on the panel would like to address this situation? Anyone has any more input to add as it relates to? And Demo is saying, really? I guess Demo is one of them who is probably, don't have the finances as yet and looking for somebody to build with him. So Demo is saying, what about growing together?
All right. So I guess before we even continue, I'd really love if even someone who is watching or the panel, or even you, the host, Kev, if you could define what financially stable really means. Because I think each individual has his or her own definition, then the answers are going to go all over the place. Now, I don't want anyone to equate financial stability with being rich or well off, because that certainly can't be it.
So Deandra, if you could, since you asked the question, Deandra, if you could put in the comment section exactly what is your definition of, financial stability. But I'll take a guess at it, Raggy, and I'm saying, I believe if you are able, I would say, to live comfortably. You're not living hand to mouth. You're not living paycheck to paycheck. You are able to, okay, you pay the bills, you still have some money left behind, can do this, can do that. And, you're all right. You don't have to be scrapping for money every single day. You don't have to be scratching your hair. That's what I would think financial stability is. But, I'm waiting for Deandra if she could say it in the comment section. But just, I look at that and I'll say.
So let's go off what you just said. If that's the case, I really should not be engaged, because there is not a day that goes by that I don't put my hand on my head saying, Jesus Christ can. How can I earn more? Because what you earn is more, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Right?
Never.
All right, but to be honest, I understand what you're saying. And like Ryan had said earlier, if personally you're not in a position where you can provide for yourself, to execute just a little bit more than a basic standard of living, you really should not be trying to get into a relationship with anyone, because that in and of itself should let you as an adult or as an individual know that I am not where I need to be.
Yes.
And I need to be at one place first before I even attempt to get into a relationship with anyone. Because if you do get in a relationship with someone, down the road, it's going to be +1. And if you have kids, it's plus as many as that person has. So I really think you need to be a little bit more, we need to be responsible before we even think about a relationship. Like Ryan said, if he's unemployed, if he's between jobs for whatever reason, I don't think it's the most responsible thing to do to try to be with someone, because at the end of the day, of what real value can you add to that person's life? it would be a little unfair to just join that person's life, to just
Absolutely.
transfer 200% of your stress to that
To that
person.
To that
person.
person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so
Absolutely.
Yeah, so clean up yourself first. You know, I'm not saying that only rich people need to be in relationship, because Lord knows I'm not rich.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
to be honest, you should be able to just be a little bit, even if you're hand to mouth, it has to be a
Men-
very structured hand to mouth. You know?
Maintain yourself at least.
There you go.
Levon, you say something?
All right, so what I want to say first is that we currently have 43 viewers and the likes is not adding up. So I need you guys to like the video as you enter. My question is to
Jaja.
Seragi. All right, I hear what you all have to say, right? But are you telling me that you're going by the theory that a broke person can give another broke person the advice? Because that is what you just said. It.
Like I said,
Because
if
all right,
you're-
listen why I quote it that way.
Yeah.
All right, Demo asked the question that why is it that the love cannot trump the financial aspect of things, that both of you guys together can build up a monarch together? Why it has to be that, hey, I have to have a strong financial background, or I can live comfortably in order for me and this person to work? It doesn't have to be that way. So
all right, so
what do you
let me address that. All right, let me address that. And I want our viewers and the panelists know this is a personal position, right?
Yes.
When you go to a bank and you bring a business plan to the bank to borrow people's money to invest in your business, what does the bank say? The bank says, show me on paper how you can pay back. Show me the growth projections of your business. And if I like what I see, I will lend you money because I know you're going to pay me back based on what the paper says.
Yep.
If you are broke and you're having that discussion with, or you're in a relationship with somebody else, let's say that person is also broke or is not broke, you must be able to adequately and clearly state what your plan is to get out of being broke. You have to present it on paper. I have 10 interviews on these days at these companies. If I should get 2 offers or 3 offers from the 10, I will be earning X. My expenses are Y. We are going to save, or I am going to save Z. And out of the Z, I can invest, and then I will have disposable income. But you have to present that plan to your other partner or to somebody. You have to show that you're not willing to stay in your current income.
But Raggy, let me play a little bit of devil's advocate here. But then a woman can come forward and be like, you know, like what kind of transactional relationship this is, right? Because if I have to come forward, and I'm just talking from a woman's perspective, you know, if I have to come forward and lay out to you exactly how I'm going to come out of this situation, you know, some women will say, probably you are not the person really I would want to move forward with. If they have to go ahead, as you made the analogy with the bank, if you have to go ahead and do it piece by piece, hey, I have 10 interviews, I have this. I think women in that particular situation, I don't think women want to feel pressured in that situation, like that. Oh, if I don't get a job this time, then he's going to say, oh, what is your plan today? I think that's a bit too much pressure. And I guess the woman in the comment section can come forward and tell me if I'm talking crow or if I'm making any sense. But I think that provides too much pressure on a woman to say, hey, we have to do this, you know, for this guy. I believe, again, I was raised in a particular way where obviously the man is the breadwinner, right? So let me read this comment first. Elton Gardner saying, youngsters, I'll advise you to date and give trouble when you're broke. Settle down and be stable when you're financially stable or financially better off.
but
Give trouble when you're broke.
I laugh at that. But Kems,
yes.
truth is simple.
Yes.
There's a difference between males and females, just outside of just the natural physical, and even as I said, right? I believe the role. I grew up with my father, and I give God thanks. There are many men today who have not had that opportunity, and I get from my father the role of a man is to as a priest, a provider, and a protector. Priest, provider, protector. And I always be mindful of that. You understand? So
Yep.
finances is a huge big ticket item in a marriage. When you start off, as much as we are in love and everything is great, finances is a huge important thing in marriage. And even starting out financially where you are financially stable. What about when you're married and then the storm hits? You lose your work, your wife lose your work, and now both of you are in a financial. Finance is a huge important item inside of any marriage. You might, it doesn't matter how you start, it is going to be it is a big ticket item. How you traverse it, how you navigate it, I hear stuff. I think somebody was talking about Raji, he and his fiancée at the moment. It is something that both party has to come together with. I had a friend of mine who she and her husband started out where when they started talking, she said he wasn't working. He was, trying some school, trying to do some stuff. She said every time they go out, she was the one who paid, she was the one who do this, she was working, stuff like that. She said you could see him ambition. No, he's working. She said he doesn't want her to spend $1. He takes care of everything. You understand?
Absolutely.
But he had a plan. That's what Raji said. You understand? He had a plan. Finances is a big tick item. It is something that we'll have to think about because the role of a man as a provider. And in fact, I'll go as far as to say, sometimes when we see some men who are in the bar, who are having fight with their woman and stuff like that, it's because they are frustrated not being able to provide for the family.
Absolutely.
It is a huge thing for a man.
Absolutely.
Not being able, when you can't provide for your family, you feel like a failure. So it's a big thing.
Facts.
And I just want,
Facts.
that's a difference. A woman can come and might not have the finances to be, and person say, but she can come. The truth is, we have different roles. For a man, we are providers.
I agree with Vincent because I remember a business coach always said to me that the major cause for arguments and divorces is financial reasons. So we can't discount how important money is into sustaining a relationship. They say more money, more problem. Yes, that can be true. Sometimes it is true. However, it cures a lot of things. Having enough money to go around, it does put a lot of things to rest.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And here's Nastasia saying that I love an ambitious man, but I'm also an ambitious woman. Together we build each other. Finance is very important. Producer, can you put up Deandra's comment, please? Because I believe she was referencing, what we were asking earlier. So if you can put up Deandra's comment. But she said, if I have my money and paying my bills on a full, I guess she's saying, and on a full relationship, and he can't assist in any way possible, what's the point? Relationships are to help each other.
Yeah, so my question to Deandra's question is, or Deandra's comment is, if you are working and pay your own bills, why do you need to be in a relationship? What else should the man do?
Ouch. All right, Deandra, the newsman asked you the question. Can you please respond in the comment section? Demo,
Kim, you see this comment by Demo? This is what I was trying to allude to when I mentioned it to Raggy. So Demo said that I've heard countless stories of couples leaving high school back in the day and still married now. They built together at high school and very strong today, right? Financial stable and modern day problem. And
true.
It kind of intertwined with what Vincent was alluding to, because yes, a man's supposed to be a provider, but since as you're going to bring these modern day problems financial wise to today's world, you have to bring it up to that female has to provide in today's world as well. It's not just the man who should be the provider. So
Levon, can I chime in
bring that
for a sec?
Go ahead.
Back in those days when them the high school together and leave and whatever, one income could carry the household. Now you need 2 income to carry the household.
Yeah, you need 2.
Probably all 4.
Two at the very least.
2 people going HT now.
At the very least, you need 2. So what you're saying is also true. So it is a modern day. In the context that we have it now, it is a modern day problem.
Exactly. Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to... Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Let me touch upon that a little bit, because they mentioned the high school. So me and Tam, we were not together in high school. However, we know of each other. in high school. So immediately after I graduated, that is when the relationship kind of starts. And we did kind of have our little shakiness going on, and then we find our way back. Because like you say, that's just how love works.
Yeah.
And up to this day, we are good to go. We're fine because we build that relationship. So I was that guy in high school where I asked mommy for money, and me and Tantam did talk and whatever. And then now it come to a point where I'm financially stable, and it's all because of her support. Yeah. So for you know, my advice to you know, so we have 2 kids together, right? And at the moment, they're young, so she's at home. And I'm obviously the breadwinner in this situation. Still, it's very important that she plays her role very well as being a mother and taking care of those kids. So when I'm at work, I am never worried about the kids. I am never worried that the house is going to burn down. I'm not worried about someone beating my child because daycare or any kind of situation like that. So as her as being a mother, she supports me very well. That way we can go out there and perform an outstanding job at work and come back with whatever I need to come back to provide with the family.
For real.
I just want to touch on something about the high school comment. When you leave in high school, if you leave in high school, you're teenagers, right?
Yes.
So if you already have history in high school, you would have gotten an idea of this person's potential, this person's ambition, and you would have become somewhat comfortable with that. So you wouldn't be going into adulthood just getting to know the person. You're coming with them from high school. So it's only building from there. But if you are an adult already and you meet somebody new, you don't have as much time as somebody who is a teenager. You know, you're meeting somebody for the first time, an adult at that. You want to know what the finances are, that you have to lay those down out immediately to kind of show where you are in life, because no adult wants to be wasting them time. When you're a kid, you have time, you can make mistakes. When you're getting older, you don't have time to waste anymore. So if you're below a certain level, just give it a rest, you know?
Absolutely. All right. So here is Melanin Queen 509 saying, should a relationship continue after the person tells you that they can't take you out because they are trying to save money?
Why not?
Why it have to be that drastic though? Why you can save money, but you should also be able to take out the person.
All right. So what I
don't think it has to be one or the other.
What I think,
agree.
Bring about the question. Bring about the question
from a producer.
I agree with what Ryan is saying.
Should a relationship continue after a person tells you that they can't take you out because they're trying to save money? So let us try and put things into its proper context now.
Right.
Let's say a guy is probably trying to save to purchase a house. You know, you need a down payment, you need a closing
cost. It all depends on what they're trying to save for.
Well, let us use house as an example, right? Let us use house, right? So a guy is trying to buy a house, and you know, she want this person. I'm sure the girl wants to go out, probably to a restaurant or strip club or here or there. But you are saving for the bigger picture. So I guess this question is saying, well, you know, should the relationship continue if he doesn't want to take her out because he's saving for the house? That's what I get from it. And then I would say, in this case, I would say, if you can't understand that, probably, you know, the man probably dodge a little bullet right there. So, you know, because I'm just saying, I think that is simple mathematics. If the guy is telling you that, the thing is, you know, if the guy is telling you that he's saving, but he's still going out and doing stuff, that's a total different situation. But if he's actually like a homebody and actually just saving money,
the money is literally
I think you can do both at the same time. You're not going to go out every week or twice a week or whatever, but I mean, like maybe every other week or once a month, something where you get a pay your money.
So it obviously everybody have a different perspective. Hopefully never cut nobody off comedy kind of here, kind of. It's obviously everybody's perspective is going to be different on that. And there's going to be sacrifices in a marriage. It's just that simple. So if you guys communicate and decide, say, yo, if I cut back on going out, you know, because of this way I work towards. Once you accomplish that, then we can move on back and do a normal going out and stuff like that. So there will be sacrifices, and it's ultimately depending on the communication piece,
All right.
you know,
All
and
right.
then understanding. So if me explain to my wife, say, yo, babes, right now, next month look like we now go to now just home cook meal and you know, take food go to work and them little thing, then she understand why and we are work towards to, and we agree to it, we move on.
All right.
It's not really something we're supposed to, you know.
Give me a 30-second response there. All right. And I can talk about this because this is something that I know Keanu won't have a problem sharing, because we've shared it with a lot when we try to encourage persons who are younger than us.
Yeah.
How we went into saving. Right. So we've been together for about, you know, a little over 2 years and stuff. And from like 5-6 months in, we became serious and we started saving together. All right. And while saving, let's say we wanted to purchase a house, you know, we wanted to purchase a house that's like 45 million, and you need 10% of that. So you need 4.5.
Yes,
you
sir.
don't buy furniture yet, you don't renovate yet. You need that.
Yes, sir.
Additionally, we wanted to renovate where we are staying here. And in about 12 or 13 months, we'd have spent renovating only over $1 million.
Yep.
That is in addition to saving money.
Yep.
There was 1 month where we did everything to cut back. Right? We did everything to cut back. Yep. And we started planting around the house. We planted callaloo and stuff. And it was just because of the pandemic and stuff. And 1 month it got really so bad that we had callaloo for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow.
The callaloo that we planted. And we say this proudly. Why? Because when your renovation bill is in excess of 100,000, that has nothing to do with what you're saving. That has nothing to do with the bills that you're paying. Remember that we both drive, we still both have loans, we still pay utility bills.
Absolutely.
When a partner says we can't take you out for a period, if the next because it's a house, if one partner wants to stop the relationship, that's not a good partner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't be.
Yeah,
Because
not a good partner.
what you'll find happening is that one partner will want the short-term victory at the expense of long-term success. No.
Absolutely.
No.
Big point. Hey, repeat.
Good point.
Man, repeat that for me one more time, man.
Yeah,
that's the word, man.
You can't have short-term victory at the expense of long-term success. No, man, your belly. No,
absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You know what I also did? We both work at home. Right? We both drive. We both own our cars. We both have to pay loans. Yep. But it didn't make sense that both of us still drive and go out. Why? I parked my car for about 14 months. Absolutely. I still pay the loan, but I don't pay the insurance. I don't pay the license. Nothing. Because I don't need to spend more than $100,000 on my car because where am I driving to? There's 2 vehicles.
There you go. There you go.
Hey. We have full disclosure. And it's not a perfect relationship, I tell you. When you have full disclosure, and you talk about full exposure down when, you can discuss finances openly and stuff. It makes it so much easier. So much easier. So to the point where if I buy a new piece of art, Ken asks where you get money from. Hello. It's kind of funny, but it's not funny, Exactly. And you can always laugh because at the end of the day, we know what the expenses are or should be. And we know what each of us can afford to purchase, I don't sell drugs,
So here is Tyrese Mackenzie saying, run a boat and Netflix and chill is a simple thing. Well,
simple.
Producer, can you put up a dangerous comment because I think she responded to Raggy earlier. I don't know if you can find but that comment really quickly, please. All right. She said, at a certain age, the play love is out the door. What can you do to help and build each other? Mm-hmm. Telling me you love me every day can't help much. And absolutely, this is probably this is probably the raw and unfiltered truth.
Yeah.
A
It is
lot
the
of
truth.
you have to say, hey, tell somebody you love them. That's all right. Yeah, I love you, baby. I love you too. Yeah, but after that, the real life problems start. And how do we handle it? I love you can't really handle it. So I definitely agree with you, Deandra. But before I want to go into something else. I want to talk about a little bit of insecurities because as men, I believe that we have a lot of insecurities. But before I do that, I just want to get Warren's last word because Warren, you never really tell us how did you, because obviously you're in a relatively new marriage, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how did you get to the point where you knew that you know this person was the one for you? What clicked for you? What was that one thing where you say, no man, I have to put the ring on the finger right now because guess what? I can't make a next man get she. When did that click for you?
I don't think there's any one thing per se. Everything kind of happened gradually. There are a number of things that stood out to me. When I found myself considering her opinion in everything that I did, when I found myself becoming less self-centered and um more concerned with what she might want, what she might have to say about this that I'm doing. Right. So it wasn't just about me being able to relax and be myself around her. When I dig deep and realize that I really put a lot of value on her opinion and what she would think about this that I'm doing, right? It
Okay,
really kind of led me to make better decisions, and
absolutely.
I found that having her around improved me
All
as
right.
a man, and I honestly believe that had she not been in my life when she came, I don't think I would have become as progressive as I am now. I really think she had a positive impact on me. Just beyond having fun and being able to be myself around her. The positive impact that she had on my life made me
Yes.
realize, and this didn't take long. This took like a few months of dating, right?
Yeah, so what?
Uh,
So Warren, big
yeah.
her up, no man. Everybody big
Oh,
up Tam Tam. Big her
Monique,
up there.
man, Monique.
Oh yeah, man.
What's
Monique, big
that
up
sleep?
yourself,
Yeah, man.
Monique,
Everybody know
man.
Monique, man.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, big her up,
Big,
serious.
big up
Stop
Monique.
calling
Big
the
up
man,
Monique.
man.
Big up
Yeah,
Monique.
man.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
man. Big her up.
Yeah, man. She
Hey,
really had a positive impact on my life.
absolutely, absolutely. And one thing I've realized, most successful men in this world always have a wife. I mean, you can pick and choose some, but most successful man, they always have that, that clutch right beside them. And so, but
Mm.
I've gotten perspective from the married ones, the ones who have them girlfriend and kids. But I need a brand new perspective now. So I'm going to have Vincent tell us because obviously and I let Vincent tell his own little story. But Vincent was married, obviously not married anymore. But I want to dive into get because he was married for a long period of time. I believe it was 9 years, if I'm not mistaken, sometime around there. But how long, my boss?
Um, Officially 21 years.
Oh, I am sorry. So he was my. I'm sorry, my apologies. So he was married for 21 years, right? And then obviously life happens, and stuff happen. I'll let him tell his story, but I want to know, Vincent, because for 21 years, this person was your rock. You had kids with her and stuff, but then something changed. So tell us now, as a person, as married individuals on this panel, or single persons who are looking forward to get married, what can we look out for to say, hey, this is a possibility. This might happen.
Um, Sometimes I not even know if I am qualified, but like I said, it was 21 years we
Uh-huh.
were married for. We were very good friends, and we are still good friends. We still chat, still good friends. Unfortunately, I guess there were some things that we just couldn't navigate. Um, Listen, divorce is a tough thing. I say that, and for the gentlemen who are here who are married, try to do whatever you can just to keep your marriage and your person together. Um, and one there's a few things though that I've learned having been married for so long, and especially one of them I've always said to person is don't sweat the small things. A lot of times in life we sweat the small things, especially when we are young and young in your marriage. Some little things you're like, you can't bother with that, you can't do that, or you make an issue out of it. And the funny thing about it, which I've come to find out, having gone so long now on this divorce, is you can look back at some things that both of you would have gotten upset over and turn out into big things. And then you try to remember exactly what is it that had caused such a fuss or caused such unkindness. And you cannot remember it. And I'm saying to myself, then, how important was that thing is that you can remember the result and the effects of it now, but you can't even remember what it was. And this is because a lot of times, especially I got married at 25, still a young man, still trying to find myself. There are things that I didn't do the way you probably should, didn't take it as serious in terms of some things. So there are many things in terms of how you start that even as you get later in your marriage that has its effects and its roots that you have to overcome and manage. You understand? But just don't sweat the small things. You understand? I will advise don't sweat the small things. You
Yes, sir.
understand? Later on,
Absolutely.
what you believe is a big issue now, later on, it doesn't even matter. And I think I hear Stockpole talk about it when he said that every year they change. You're a different person. Things that mean something don't mean anything now. You understand? So you are sweating something that within 2-3 years not going to mean anything at all to you. You understand?
Absolutely.
Just learn
Absolutely.
to enjoy the person that you're with, enjoy each
Absolutely.
moment, enjoy each
Absolutely.
time that you spend and share with them. The fact that the
Absolutely.
person is there, enjoy that. You understand? If
Absolutely.
it is, if you're going through storm, whether it is financial or not, enjoy that. Don't. Brian, let's see you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with
man.
you.
So one question I have to ask. It's in relation to some years ago. I was in someone's office, and on his wall he had like call it 10 steps to be successful, and one of the steps was marry the right person. So I
Absolutely.
said to him, "What exactly is the right person?" You're married. He's married. So I said to him, "What if you and your wife married for 25 years and then you divorce? Would the years that you were married for um, help to make her the right person?" And in pause, and couldn't answer him. So that was a very good question. So I don't remember what his answer was afterwards. But how do you see that?
The right man.
You were married for
You
21
see
years. So
this right person and wrong person. This is when we say the wrong person. Sometimes if you are in a marriage where you, both of you not going in the right direction, both of you not supporting each other, both of you are just on opposite end of the scale, then clearly you're not going anywhere, right? But having said that, you can marry someone, choose someone that you and them you are good together today. But gentlemen, marriage is a lot of work. And that's the
Absolutely.
honest to God truth. Marriage is work. You understand? It's a lot of
Absolutely.
work. You have to work each day on your marriage. You understand? And when we say work, it's not like you're digging yam. You understand? Men and women are different. You understand? You have women who love to be supported, love sharing time with them, spend listening to them, and all of that stuff. You understand?
Yes,
Whereas with a man,
absolutely.
maybe something. In fact, there is a thing that I learned: understanding each other love language. That is
Absolutely.
big. You understand? Because a woman, a woman might her love language might not be gift, and you decide to buy her the most expensive jewelry, and you're saying to your brethren, listen, it's $1 million I spend on this and give my wife, and she take it
Absolutely.
and she put it down, and it's not that it
Ab-
don't mean so much to her, but what she needs is your time. You just
quality
sitting
time.
down with her watching something that you're watching means so much more. than you
Yes,
buying her $1 million ring. And that is something that we have to
absolutely.
try and understand. And she has to understand what is it that makes you what you want and you need, you trying to understand that. So it's something that you have to work on, Ryan. And sometimes in the struggles of what is happening, sometimes both parties just grow apart, not end up working on what they should have, and end up sweating some things that at the end of the day it creates this gulf that if you had just done it differently, it could have made it work. So it wasn't that it
So
was the
given,
wrong person, it's
okay.
just that
So
you
given that,
didn't work on it.
given that you and your ex-wife are still friends, you
Mhm.
and you are divorced, you would consider her. You would still maybe consider the right person, would you?
We have this discussion once in a group that I'm in. I have never believed that I married the wrong person. We just never
Okay.
make it work.
That's what. Yeah. Good.
Absolutely.
All right, so Kings,
Hey,
before I move on, Kims, I have a
yeah,
question for these gentlemen. Because just
yes.
like you and Ryan, I'm out here searching for that person, right? So, my question to the folks that are married and for those who are probably in the process of doing so, how do you keep a straight head from the other females? Because you know that as man, go a road, see a woman look good, generally we might not go sway. So, how do you guys manage to keep a straight head from these other
Hold on.
females?
All right.
Let
So
me jump
Levon,
in
so,
quickly on
hold
that,
on.
James.
All right. All right. Go on,
And
Vincent. Go
I
on.
just want to say this. One of the things I had to learn in my marriage is that, and again, man and woman are a little bit different, even though some women now can do some stuff what we do as man. And,
Yeah.
for a man, I had to come to realize and accept that. And this is what I believe, my opinion, based on what I would have seen and experienced. A
Yes.
man can go out and see a woman and she mean absolutely nothing to him and he will sleep her and him gone. She mean absolutely nothing. For a woman, that is a huge thing. I had to come to accept that, all right? If I love my wife, I trying to understand her, she trying to understand me. It might not mean something to me, but it will mean something to her. Which
Yes.
means it will have an impact on the relationship that we have. So I have to
Yes.
keep that at the forefront of my mind and understand that this is me. I can't do that. You
Exactly.
understand? And that is what, so it is a responsibility. It is our responsibility as man to say, this is me. I'm not going to do this. And what it boils down to, our responsibility.
All
And
right.
that's my
So
take on it.
so Vincent, first of all, definitely I would like to thank you, like from the bottom of my heart, really, for sharing your experience. Because obviously when I decided to start this, you was one of the first persons I spoke to, and I just believe that what you said, it can resonate with a lot of persons, especially the married persons on the panel. It can teach somebody something, and that is what we want to do, just to provide any bit of education, any bit of knowledge to somebody out there that can probably save them from getting a divorce, or probably can realize, okay, divorce is okay, we can still be friends. So I really want to thank you for divulging that kind of information. Put up that demo comment, producer, please, before I let these guys answer the question. All right, so Demo said, guys, learn this. Marry someone who likes a different cereal from you, so they
Good
won't
point.
eat off all of yours.
Good point.
All right, so Stockwell, I'll let you answer the question because you've been pretty quiet. As Levon asked us, the producer asked us, hey, as a married man, how do you, or I don't know if Tam Tam is listening, so be careful. I don't want you to call me and
You're
tell me,
full.
say, you have to sleep outside. But hey, how do you keep your head straight from, because come on, let us face the facts about it. There's not one beautiful woman in the world. Woman look good. Woman nice. How do we know as a married man keep your head straight and say, hey, tunnel vision, that tam the thing there now. How we do that? Hey, careful.
Hey,
You're there.
careful, look careful.
All right, James. So honestly, we me and wife, we always have this kind of discussion. So it starts off like this. As simple, I am a man. You see me?
Yeah.
So allow me to be a man. What I mean by that is no, let's just say as something as simple as me and her walking in the mall, right?
Yeah.
And a girl happen to just pass your tunnel vision. Natural instinct, you're going to look, right? But the thing is about it, when you look, You can't try to broke your neck and look round and try to be extra with it. You see, if you look and she see you look and you glimpse and you try hold the faith, she gonna see that and know, say, all right, cool, and nah disrespect. Everything good from there. So no. So how me keep a straight head is just you just know where I go lose. So right now, Tam she give me 2 kids that no other woman ever I will give me in my life. Right? So do I want to grow up and say, yo, I'm ruin the relationship with my kids growing up to have a mother and a father in the same household just because she can't hold the faith? Honestly, personally, for me, I've lived those life back in the day and all that out of my system at this point. I'm at an age right now where the focus is even bigger than that, where we need to make sure that the kids are good to go. So just like someone mentioned earlier, is that they stop thinking about themselves. Like everything what me do right now is all about Tam and the 2 kids them. There's even times when I buy stuff for myself personally and I feel guilty. Like I don't deserve this. Or I don't want this. So most of the time when we do things, it's all about them. It's all about them and going forward. So that is how I keep the faith, you know. So I'm not gonna say it's easy because it's like I said, there's very beautiful women out there. But overall, is what you gonna lose. You see what I say? So I'm not willing to lose that. So I'm just go and hold it.
Absolutely.
I was going to ask you a question, but because your wife in the comments, I won't bother.
So Kev, I'm going to ask the female in the comment section this question, right?
Yeah.
So you and I are walking together, and like I see this woman, and yeah, generally as we say, no, I know one woman in the world look good. It's not just the woman that beside me look good.
Yeah.
So me might bounce and say, B, she look good though, like she shape good. What's wrong with that? So the females in the comment section can answer to that question.
Okay, so the females in the comment section.
So
the
only thing I said though. Oh yeah, him want the ladies in the comment section to answer. The gentleman is
Hold on, Vincent. You kind of
break it up.
Yeah. You hearing me any better now?
All right, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying that, as gentlemen, I mean, we're working with a female. I would know you have beautiful woman, you can see beautiful woman, you can see women who look sexy. It really, you take yourself outside and put yourself in a woman who endures space. It really look away where you're walking with your woman and then you see your next female and then you just broke off your neck. So I look, it does something to your woman. You understand? And we have to understand that. And just as Stackpole say, even if you take a glance, just keep your head straight and it look distasteful, gentle. It does. And even though a man and one look and it look a little, we'll have to find, and that's how we come in and say, boy, it's a little responsibility when you get to a point where, and the truth isn't it, even as I hear Warren talk, I hear Stackpole talk, I hear Roger talk about it. When you get to a point where you're with a woman where you really love and you care for and you adore and you know that, you just want the things, them things that you take in consideration, you hold your head straight. In fact, sometimes when you look and she say, hey, you see that sexy girl, you say, who? Where? And then look long time and keep your head straight and move on.
You put on your dark glasses.
You understand?
Put on your dark glasses.
Producer, why we have this comment, producer? I'm married in the spirit, producer. Let's move on.
But Vincent, my question to you, Vincent, right?
Yeah.
We're here and the topic on is about finding the right person. What if that woman that you're walking beside is not the right person and the person that you're probably glancing at is the right person? You may never know.
No, man, but think about it this way. Think about it this way, Levan, right?
Yeah.
If you walk with a woman and she's not the right woman, and you see a woman who, all right, maybe the right woman, and you decide to give her the look, steer her down and stuff like that. What do you think that woman is going to think about you doing that? Your woman that you're with, because in her head, that begin to tell her something about you. So even though you may say, I am your right woman, me see you when you are with your other woman and how you behave. You understand? So that is why I'm saying you have to just figure out the right way of just do it. You understand? And that's all I'm saying.
But Vincent, so look at this, right? And to Levon kind of questioning, you have to be careful because then, I've often heard that, men try to play some games, but when women play the same games, men can't take it, right? So
True.
so I guess imagine we as a man now with our woman and we have broke our neck
Yeah.
to look on the next
Yeah.
woman.
Mm-hmm.
How would we feel now? How would we feel now if, hey, broke our neck for look on a man, we're probably more muscular than we, six pack and go time head and all them something. So I think we have to be mindful of these things. And Jason, I know you have to go. Really soon. I know you have work and so definitely. I just want to thank you definitely for coming on. If you have anything you want to say before you leave, absolutely no problem. The floor is yours right now.
Right now, I mean,
Yeah.
due to
No, go on, man.
due to how the content and the engagement among the panelists and the comments was so engaging, I not even realize the time. Should have gone
You
from
should have gone
15
from
minutes
9.
ago. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
but I'll never say is respect for the opportunity, Kim. So you can honestly say
No
that.
problem.
And as I said in my introductory video, that this is something that was well needed. I don't think men on an intellectual level, too much of us have that much of a voice that we can bring across for women to listen in this manner.
Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
appreciate the initiative. Looking forward to more episodes where this is concerned, brother. You know me there a
Absolutely.
long time, is it? So
Absolutely.
big up to everyone in the panel and much respect to everybody for the aspiring relationships, those who married, those who looking to get married, and those who just want to live with their cat and all of that. So big up to everybody.
All right.
Respect.
All right. Blessings.
Blessings,
All
brother.
right. So let me segue into another thing because but Dean was saying half of the women them who passing we can't get anyway. It's a glance in hope. We call that hopeless glance. Well, hey, I guess so. So I want to segue into insecurity because we just went ahead and we talk about how we look back and all that kind of stuff. But we've seen a common theme happening. I want to say in Jamaica, in the whole world, where men feel like they own women. If a woman cheat, the first thing where most men want to do fight. They want to fight, they want to kill and then kill themselves and all of that. Um, I guess I can start with Stockpole right here, so because Stockpole, when we look at what's going on in the world, right? What advice could you give to a man right now who is probably in a situation, probably either catch his wife, girlfriend cheating? How can they go ahead? Because ego is a big thing for men. Ego is a much big thing for men. So when the ego get bruised, then they tend to act irrational. What advice could you give to these men to say, hey, man, there's a lot of fishes in the sea. Hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. Hey, and here's the danger saying men can't handle hurt like women. So, like a woman. Producer, put up the comment before danger one again, before Stockpole answer, please.
Yeah, most women make
Most
women.
women where make on head turn ain't real. Fake bodies. It tell us who you are. I
I disagree with the last part though.
like it tell us.
It tell us who you are part. Because at the end of the day, you might just you're not with. Let us say you look at somebody who have fake ass and fake boobs, and you say, "Oh, that look good and whatever." But at the end of the day, you're going home to a woman without that. So
Mhm.
the woman you
Right.
are with tells more who you are as opposed to the one that you're
Just
maybe
look
just
at.
Glancing
give
at.
a fleeting
Abs-
glance at and say, okay, she look good
absolutely.
with her because she look good with her fake body. However, you don't necessarily want you want the person who you are with.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I disagree.
Right.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm kind of surprised how we still up on the glance because to me it's not even a serious thing, and even to Tam, it's not a serious thing if you glance at a woman. We're at a point now in our lives where we even joke about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll even tap me and say, "Yo, look over this," or look on a girl there, or something like that, because we're just
Yeah.
that comfortable with each other. So, and it
Absolutely.
started out. It started out where when we even watch like, let's say we watch wrestling. I watch WWE, and you know, so the ladies that are on WWE, them dress a certain way, right? And if me all watch it and me all look certain way, she will say, yo, how you like her or something like that. That is how small of an issue it was at one point, to where we just build and build on each other, to where like, yo, you have nothing to worry about. So you Kems, now when you get in your relationship, it's your job now to make sure that your wife is feel secure and knows that you're not going anywhere and that you're gonna always be around. See, to the where the levels you can even joke about simple stuff like that. So to me, a glance is really not that big deal. It's natural instinct. If someone is in your peripherals, you're going to glimpse, you're going to look around, right? And Vincent said it. If you got broken neck and go to your way, at that point it start to get kind of disrespectful. So don't do that, right? And the same goes the same for females as well. Like, I'm very comfortable to where my wife can say certain comments that I will even say myself, because it's very simple, you know. Don't do unto others that you're not willing to take on board. So if you're going to do it, just expect that in return. And it's just that simple.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So hold on. So you say if she comment like on a man's physique and thing, that did not bother you?
You know what I mean? But she won't. But she said stuff before, but it not gonna bother me. I'm that comfortable with my wife at this point. You know what I'm saying? Where she can say, yo, look, she did Magatos right now, she's not going to point out a guy and say, look, pan a guy look good. However, I've seen her around females and they talk about it, and she know that I'm in the presence of that group that she's with. Right? So that's kind of what I'm getting at. She's not gonna say, oh babes, look pan a guy over there, so no.
Yeah, but no, she can't. She not gonna do that, man. She not gonna do that.
But so interesting question. Interesting question, Warren, since you bring this up. So are you saying, Mr. Warren? Are you saying, Mr. Warren, that if the wonderful money see a guy and be like, hey, oh boy, this guy looking, this guy look like him go to the gym. Is it a situation where it will ruffle your feathers in a way? Are you at the point where you just laugh it off because you know, say you are the real head honcho when it come on to some things?
Let me tell you, it depends on the manner in which she does it, because she and I, we joke. And if I notice that she does that as a joke, no problem. But you see, if me catch a vibe, say, I'm not joke. She mean it. Yeah, man, my feathers, them ruffle, man. They ruffle away, man. You ruffle away, man. I think about it, man. Me I go say,
I want to. Are you going to gym too?
Yeah, no, not necessarily, you know. That's enough for me, but me I go say, you know, say, me I pray that move there still. But if it's a joke, like, let's say watch that movie. Let's say watch a movie and there's a actor in there, you know. Me I know, give me a male actor where woman like to see in a show. What the man name name? Some male actor, right? And she like going back and, you know, take off his shirt and everything there. And them something. I don't really have any problem with that person, because it's a show. But you know, if we're out on the road or somewhere, I'm say she all eyes are brother, like, you know, she has tight eye and everything there. Yeah, man, my friend, I'm a ruffle, man.
Hey, so Warren, hold on, Warren.
Yeah, man. I'm serious, man. We can't manage it, man. We can't manage it.
Kev, got a fucker in
Yeah, do them
the
for
Alright, what the factor in is that, remember that males in general are egotistical beings, you know, so the females need to bring across a point about a next man looking, all that. It's not gonna hurt your ego, bro. You just can't go around that. And that's why I look at it from the standpoint that females can manage things way more than we can, because when they can have a conversation and say, yo, that girl look good and rate it, the female will come to you and say, yo, you know, so that you look good and you're going to then.
Yeah. She can't come to me. I want to look good and you know, shadow.
Levon, that you bring out that point, I'm going to do something what I hear women say before, more than one woman rather, that them understand the struggles that we as men go through, because women out there will look good, really good. And them themselves don't like women, like they with women, but them looking on, them understand where we come, the struggles that we're going through. I don't know if women have said anything like that to you guys before, but I've heard it a lot from.
Yeah, I've heard it too. Because they openly admit that they're intersexual, they're not into women, but somehow they still find themselves looking at women and admiring the female body. So it's easy for her to tap you on the shoulder as her man and say, look at that nice looking girl over there, and you don't think anything of it.
Levon, put up Kian comment, please. What Kian said a while ago. Please, about looking and all right. So this is Raggy's fiance, of course. We are humans, we're gonna look. It's what is said or done, like the breaking of neck, smiling and being flirty, etc. Absolutely agree, Kian. So let me get back to you a little bit, Warren, because you say, and I'm glad you admit it, you make things known. You make it look better. Don't try to be no superhero and act like say you're heart tougher than anybody else. Admit it. So wife, you know what it is. But let me ask you what is the conversation? So we're talking from a hypothetical sense now. So let's say you see a guy out there, because trust me, whether we want to admit it or not, our women see guys out there who them think attractive. I just saw it go.
So it go, man. We know that.
All right. So say you catch her now, Warren, looking at a guy, particular we were rough with your feathers. What is the conversation now you have with your wife?
Why the conversation, the awkwardness. So most times we not even have no conversation. Because what me gonna say? What me gonna say? I'm not really gonna say nothing. Because, but I know that I feel uncomfortable. But if I say something, it would take a while. It wouldn't be the same time. It wouldn't be the same time. I think I would just see a little bit. Yeah. No man, that's my natural reaction. For a little bit, I'm gonna shut down for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah man, for a little bit I'm just gonna shut down. But eventually, I'll come back around even without having a conversation and just get out of my head. I won't really I just get out of my head. I won't really have a conversation about it. I just go through a little phase where I'm just quiet a little bit and then I just forget about it.
All right, so then you're quiet a little bit, because now we are trying to create a scenario in a while. So you're quiet a little bit. Babe, what's wrong? Touch up on your chin, on your head, on your head. Babe, what's wrong?
Yeah.
And then what do you know? Come forward and tell her what's wrong, or you just be like, nothing, babes, man, no good, man, no good.
He said nothing.
No. You know, say, we're not gonna lie and say my good name, but just not gonna answer. So we're just gonna turn on the TV or something, and just watch a movie and stay by myself.
Yeah, because I know
but not gonna answer.
Yeah,
but just gonna stay by myself.
I mean, but chime in a little bit. So we'll do that with certain things as well. Like we say, I don't worry about it because a smart fry. I mean, Vincent said don't sweat the small stuff. But if this is something that is going to ruffle your feathers, trust and believe, so you just give her permission to do it again, because make sure up front say, listen, I don't really like that comment then, I don't really like that style. So
guess what?
If you approach it.
No, but guess what? Them sensible, I think them fool them know. When you see what look here, you see when she come and she asks her, what's wrong? I get you and get under her skin, she know damn well what's wrong, but she want to hear you say it. Because you know why she want to hear you say it? She want to say it with the chest. She want to know, say, I get under them skins all this time, what's the money piece of me can't watch man to boy. And that's that thing in her head, Don't get satisfaction, just build her easy and then just make it go. But she know, you have to tell her, she know. And then, she knows exactly what she is. You don't have to tell her. If you have to tell her, another one that.
Another thing I want to talk about, since we talk about, looking at person, let us talk about social media, because social media has become a big influence in our lives right now. Whether we want to admit it or not, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, all of that Snapchat, what we have going on. So, and this can be for anybody, Ryan, anybody at all, but when a woman posts up a picture or a video or anything at all. And you know, either you see a particular guy who is always under the comments, because we all know that there's always somebody who is always under the comment section, or is always the first person to like the picture. Always first person to like, first person to comment. So if anybody have a situation like that, how is that handled in the marriage,
All
in
right,
the
Kems, hold
relationship?
on a second, Kems, before I get to
Yes,
these
sir.
married folks.
Yes, sir.
Personally, right?
Yeah.
People find it weird when I say it, but personally for me, I believe that if you guys are in a relationship, in order to avoid all of that, don't follow each other on any social media platform. Just keep it where it is and don't follow each other. Because if you follow each other, there are going to be quarrels when it comes down to things like those. Because, all right, you as a man now, you scroll through the gram and see a girl where again look good, you're gonna like it. No, your woman
Mm.
say, so why you like this picture out of every picture she posts up? Why not on the next picture?
True. True. Absolutely
So
true.
personally,
Yeah.
before even Instagram did come out, I know so personally I have that experience before. There was a point where we not even follow each other because I say, yo, that create too much problem. This can't be a problem in our marriage. So I
Really?
say, yo, yeah, man, there's a time when time never did on my Facebook, man. Right? Because
Yeah.
first and foremost, you can control what people click and comment on. You can delete it, but now when you delete certain things now, it look like you hide things, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm just an honest person like that, where like me just leave things as it be and let it float, and then when I time to explain, I'm willing to explain. You see what I say?
Yeah.
So a lot of times when one thing with the ladies as well, right? Then we ask you a question, you know, sometimes they're not prepared for the answer, you know. So when you tell them what it is, it's like, what that, you know? So it's like, Virgin, you ask. So you'll get where you ask for, you know? So you have to brace for shock now. So it might be in your favor, it might be not. You see what I say? So there was times when we just kind of load the social media thing and then we work it over.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where we kind of adapt now to where the point where if I click like, it's not a big deal, regardless of the picture. Well, I'm not gonna say regardless of the picture. You see what I say?
Yeah.
There's certain boundary and we understand that. Right?
Yeah.
And even to this day, like if I click like, she might ask and say, yo, why you like this one? And it's not a matter of, it's a different tone now. So like let's just say 5 years ago, yeah, I'll make you like that picture. I want to go and feed. Versus now, like, notice say click a picture recently. What make you click, you know? It's a different tone, so it's the understanding level and the communicate and how we talk. So it's a developing process where if you do it the first time, it might get nasty. And then as you gradually you realize that, yo, you know what, if I approach it this way, this is going to be the reaction. If we approach it that way, that's going to be the result. So we just kind of understand each other now to a point where, like, if you want to address certain situation, you just kind of come correct. You try not to come off as a disrespectful tone as well, right?
All right.
So
yes. All right. So we try to finish in an hour and 30 minutes. But Reggie, I want to get you in now because you are a man of many personalities when it comes to social media. And you come and you say women are this, and I know that some people will take you absolutely super serious and let's say, hey, this man can't have no woman. Help us understand how you strike that balance where can allows you to be your social media self where you can come and give your jokes and things, but at the same time when you can be a fiance, a future husband at home and she knows, okay, this is just a personality, or is it that when you come off of social media you are getting cooked?
All right, so it's all right. So that one was the social media thing was a little tricky. Right? It was really a little tricky, and it's something that we had to talk about privately because before I got involved with Ken, I was still quote unquote, a lot of persons would say big on social media. I had a lot of followers and stuff. And that was not Ken. Ken has a very small set of persons that she follows and who follows her, and and then when I went on the rampage, when people quoted that people said that I used to bash women and stuff. Yeah, that was like a big thing. Right, so I had to really discuss and talk, and it was slow and stuff. But I think we're now at a good stage now where even though I can say just about anything across social media, now I've become a little bit more reserved. And sometimes I don't even say what can be said just because I know I don't want to create another set of issues at home. And to be honest, when you really value your relationship,
Yep.
the little things, as Vincent had said earlier, really becomes little. So I'm not saying I won't crack a one and two jokes and stuff, but I'm now mindful of what I post on social media because I am in the relationship that I am with Kian. Right. And so if you knew me 3-4 years ago compared to what I do now on social media, it's like a complete pivot. It's not that I can't do anything and stuff, but it doesn't profit me. I don't get the same enjoyment out of it now because, like Warren said earlier, a lot of times when you're doing stuff now, your partner now becomes the forefront of your mind. So you now say, what will Ken think? How will she feel? Do I need to explain what I did to Ken? If you find nowadays that you have to explain yourself too much, too often to your partner, sometimes it's really not worth it.
Absolutely.
Right. So just for the sake of saying no, I will still go and I'll still like and observe, but what I do post on social media now is much more reserved. And to be honest, it makes life better and easier. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
what I do. Yeah.
All right. So gentlemen, definitely, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna call it a night. But I'm going to give each of you guys 30 seconds. You just can talk about anything. If you don't want big up K and for the full 30, money, tam, anything you want to do. This is your 30 seconds of fame where you can say anything at all. And, after that, then we're just going to wrap up. So, Ryan, you can go ahead because, the single by marital status will go first and then the big head honchos will go after that. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, yeah, very good first program. Excellent, not so good, excellent and first episode, and I hope that we move from strength to strength. We get better and better each episode. I mean, there's a lot of topics to talk about. We talk about them on social media, so we can bring them here as well. We can't be short of topics. Things happen every day. Life is very dynamic. Things change. Things progress, and the relationship is a part of our everyday life and all of that. So we will always have content, and everybody will always have an opinion. As you say, you have married people here, you have divorced people here, you have single by marital status people here, and all of that. So we will always have different perspective and all of that. So this is a very good start.
All right, I'm awesome. Vincent, go ahead.
Like Ryan, you hearing me coming through?
Yeah, hearing you now.
Yeah, like Ryan, I think is a very good show, very good first show. Listen, me, I have a son who is 19, and sometimes I know he believes that I'm rough on him. To be honest, I am rough on him, and I always said to him that listen, me, life for a man is rough. So you have to learn from now to stand up. There's a lot of things that we face. There's a lot of issues that we go through. Many of us, when we were growing up, you were taught as a man that you don't cry, you don't speak out, you don't this. There are a lot of things that we do a lot alone in our head sometimes and stuff like that. So I mean, having a show where we can, just have discuss, let some other man hear some of the issues that would have gone through, and that it is not just you alone going through. I believe it's something good, and as Ryan said, we hope that we get from strength to strength, and even get into some other serious issues that that men face, and just living liberty, standing up, and being a man.
Absolutely. Warren, go ahead, boss.
Yeah, I just wanna add to Ryan's comments in terms of the first episode of this podcast. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed engaging with you guys. As some of us in most some of us interact on Facebook, and I enjoy that. So being here, talking live, it's really been good, and I'm looking forward to many more episodes with you guys. And today was just one topic. Just
Yeah,
want to
remember
big
to
up
get
all the
permission.
huh?
Remember to get permission.
Yeah, man, we have to
Remember,
get written permission, man. Written
yeah,
permission.
remember to get make sure to get the permission. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, DeAndre. Thank you. Um,
yeah.
Raggy, go ahead,
Alright.
boss.
Can baby have a video because you know what I mean? Just put on that little thing for later. Anyway, so people, so I love the opportunity, love it and stuff. Let me tell you again. Let me just tell everybody. So I got engaged last year, late last year, and let me tell you, it was a shock to me. People, I did not know engagement bands were this expensive. I did not know the pressure that the males go off, go under. Like you go inside Bijou and you're seeing rings for 4 or 5 grand. The good rings are like 3, 5 to 5 grand US. Right. So when the point I'm trying to make is I'm not saying that you need an expensive wedding or expensive engagement and stuff, but gentlemen, be aware of your finances the first day you start working. I've been to so many events, parties, ATI before it became Dream Week. You've spent so much money on useless things that if you could go back in time and recoup or just tell yourself not to indulge in useless crap, trust me, it's not worth it. So my advice is if you're not engaged, you're not married yet, or if you have not wasted too much of your money, don't. If you thought that you had to go out to spend that $15,000 on a bottle of Moet or that Hennessy, I've done everything that you thought that you wanted to do. I've done it. Everywhere that you've wanted to go in Jamaica that looked great on social media,
I've done it.
I've done it. Every
Yes, sir.
artist that you wanted to know
Been
personally,
there, done that.
I've gone backstage or I've either interviewed
Money
them
up.
before. It is not worth it. It's not worth it. Find someone that you want to spend your life with. Ensure that she inspires you to do better and be better. That's it. That's just my advice.
Agree.
Love the concept, big it up, keep it up.
Let's say, Raggy, find someone that we can lay down the law with, eh?
Yeah, well, there you go. Man,
Stockpole, go ahead, boss.
Yeah, it's definitely a good show, and now I'm not even realize it. Oh, and 30 minutes past already. Thanks for having me, definitely. And for the couples them out there and for you, Kems, be careful of what people are saying about your relationship, right? Remember, at the end of the day, the relationship is yours. And however you want to navigate that relationship is totally your choice.
Absolutely.
Don't make me tell you, say, yo, Bridget, you need to split or you need to cut up. No, just work on your marriage and quit focusing on what your surroundings are saying about you and your marriage. So I say, because I've seen it in a relationship where a guy and his girl had an altercation or a situation, and me personally feel like say I would have left. And guess what?
Yeah.
He stayed with her, right? And to this day they're very happy, right? So it's very important that you put your emotions first and not focus on what your friend them say about you and your relationship. The end of the day is yours. So whatever you have to do, you do what you need to do and put in that work. Relationship, he's a bad man. You have to put in some work.
Absolutely.
All right. So hear me out. Big up Tam, big up Money, big up Kian for allowing these guys to come on the show without interruption. But all right, guys. So the show was actually supposed to be on Sunday, but I got the dates mixed up. So next week, so it won't be next week Saturday. It will actually be next week Sunday. at 8 p.m. Obviously, we'll send you the notifications and all of that. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you, producer Crystal. Stop running off your mouth. Baby, I know you're in the comment section. So big up yourself. Nobody don't need to know, baby. Big up yourself. And the man is just enjoying the night. And I'll see you guys next week. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Respect. Big up yourself, boss.